Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Sad Man Was in the Yu-Gi-Oh universe, or specifically Yu-Gi-Oh GX. So, basically Yu-Gi-Oh, or so in this What If, he's the a brother to the one that I reviewed yesterday. If you guys did not know that yesterday was the or of this recording thing, that this man right here, this one, I did a video before, and it was he was pretty brave. But now we are interviewing his brother. So his brother is he's the opposite. And so he is a very lucky man. Like, every time that he walks around, let's start with him being born. Or actually, both of them were born at the same time. Yeah. So, let's say he was the oldest one. And they're the same age, but so he goes to the Duel Academy, and he just chills out. But there was one thing. He looks at the chicken. He's like, "Good morning, chicken." As the chicken just nods its head. As, let's say, something pulls out a machine gun, or actually, let's say, not machine gun, this wooden spear, and tries to, as it says, "Watch out," as the guy did, as he grabs it out of thin air right before it hits the head. As Dr. Crowler saw the entire thing unfold, he was like, "Okay, yeah." As the masked man was escaping, but he has so much dual energy. He was a special kind of duelist. As he uses the Like, you know how, like, they summon, like, monsters? Not dueling kind? And, like, I summon Ojama King. And, yeah, that stuff. So, he ends up, um, being the luckiest person. So, the sandwich day theme was the theme. So, they're like, okay. All the students are thinking, hmm, hmm, hmm. As they all pick just like some random stuff like cow tongues and the other ones. But when he goes in, he grabs. It was way before the first video that I did. Before this video. Not the one that is called Shippers. It's the one that's called What If Happy was in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Happy Man was in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, yeah. So when he walks in, he says, huh, okay. And no one gets that. But somehow, when he dunked his hand in, he grabs it, or grabs one of the sandwiches, and one of the students are like, well, oh, you might end up getting a cow tongue or some other one. Then when he opens it, he pulls it out before, then opens it. As he takes a bite, as no one sees it until he, as they thought he got a cow tongue. Of course, as her and her apprentice thing, were like worried that he might end up getting sick, but then he, with a cracked smile, or he covers his face, he starts giggling uncontrollable, as when he opens it all the way, lifts it up to show everybody. As everyone was stunned that he pulled out the golden egg thing. As they're like, I was as they're like, whoa, so how did you pull it right out of the, it must be a fluke or something. Well, yeah. And how did you pull one out? You're pretty lucky, you know? Yeah. But yeah. Try that again. And, okay. As he finishes his egg thing, and when he went in for another one, he pulls out another golden egg. As he opens it, and looks inside. As he walks over, as he bangs his head on a wall. Oh. Oh. As everybody's like, the yeah, as Alexis and her friends are like, well, like everybody looks at him. Why is he banging his head? Well, as he starts saying, "Gosh dang it! Gosh dang it! Gosh dang it! Gosh dang it! Why am I so dang lucky?" As he's hitting his head. As they said, "What do you mean?" As he opens it right in front of them, and they were expecting like that, but instead, when he opened it, he got that. As everybody's like, they looked at him like, "What? How do you do that?" And blood dripping down his face. And it's and they and as they're like, and everybody's like stunned that he had a power of luck thing. As even her, she's like, man, yeah, I agree. Man, you're pretty lucky with not draws or them. Yeah. But how often does that happen? As she asks him, as he shrugs his shoulders. When I was born, I was the luckiest kid in the world. So then, yeah. So then and or Jaden and Cyrus were like, in, this agrees to duel him for that. But he just turned around. He laughs at it off. You guys want it? Then here. Take it. And they're like, no need to duel me on it. And so, yeah. Everybody's like, man, so you win at the duels. You also went on competition. And yeah. So then the day came where it was finally like Blair and his own brother to show up. As he knew that his brother, when he was in. So his brother duels him. On it. It's like a shield and the sword. So they dueled, and he wins, or both of them. It was so like evenly matched. So yeah, and they're like, man, as he plays a spell card that called Raging Explosion, and both players automatically lose. It was a quick duel right there, folks. As they both like land on their mud, as they're laughing. Been a long time, brother. Well, yeah, it's been a long time too. As everyone looked at both of them, they're like, wait, so both of you are brothers? Yeah. We're both good looking ones. And as they have a dual discs on their right sides, or no. I still can't get over, or I still can't get over the hands thing. Which one's left, which one's right? Tell me in the comments of what this side is. Is this left or right? Because I know mirror probably it's a left hand. Yeah. So let's get back into the story. So he hangs out with his brother. And one of the days, some other students were being weirdos, as he's blocked all of them from sneaking into the ladies' room. Yeah, he gets punched all the way through the doorway. Not like there was only 3 people. 1, 2, 3. 2 blue students and 1 red student. Yeah. Were sneaking in as he tries to tell, or actually, Dr. Crowler was brought out of nowhere before. And he saw a whole thing. So the 3 students were now expelled from school for peeping on the girls. Yeah. As he tells the and for the answer, no, is his brother was not there. He wasn't one of those 3 boys. It was just some random. Definitely not Jaden or Cyrus. So, yeah. Then the thing is, he got hit all onto the wall. Or actually, let's say he whacked, or he gets whacked out of the way, and 3 boys snuck in. Yeah. So then he's like, as he walks around, uh, there's so many. As he tries to look around for, as he's like really like upset that those 3 students snuck into the girls' locker room. As everybody's like Dr. Crowler and the nurse was like, what's with him? And his brother says, oh, him? I'll talk to him. Okay. He really, or Hanson, man. Or hey, brother, what's up? Oh, I'm on a mission to find, or trying to find a teacher in his school because there's 3 students that are to be like snuck right into the girls' bed or bathroom or locker room. Um. Hmm. So then those 2 came over and they're like, so what was about these 3 boys that were that you said snuck in? As Dr. Crowler and says, well, as they both point in, and they all 3 of them went in, and they saw the 3 boys torturing the girls. Oh, yeah, I thought so. So then all 3 of them agree. Hey, or so then Dr. Crowler is like, boys, or all right. As he grabs all 3, him and her grab all 3 and puts them in like detention thing. Yeah. As the girls like her and Alexis were being pretty powerful. Or they said thank you. Oh, don't thank us. Thank the Sandman. He was the one that told us everything about these perverts that snuck into your bedroom. Or no, locker room. I keep saying bedroom because, yeah. So then, yeah. So then, the all three of them were like expelled. Dual Academy, and yeah, until 2 weeks later, or no, two, yeah, 2 months. So then of course, they all agree that they have a savior. So yeah, so this is what they were, and then of course, actually, both of those two girls, oh, because they love the hair color of the Sandman. They both are like trying their hardest to not be those people, but they could not help it. So they asked him out on a date. And yeah. So then they went on a date. Mm-hmm. And he tells them that he won't be like those weird ones from earlier. Or, yeah. So then he ends up. So then the day came. The Ebel and all the rest of her stuff thing. If you guys want to, like, go check it out. It's pretty dark, but not as much as the, yeah. So, yeah, but at the end, when the the red guy, this guy, passed away, or should I say, teleported away to a different dimension, into another life, like his body been modified, he ends up, he was married to both of those two. And then they had kids, and yeah. They had such a cool hairstyle thing. They're like, yeah. They, so, yeah. Basically, that's how it is. You know, they had the hens, and yeah. They, yeah. They, the kids knew how to duel, and yeah. They became the luckiest people in the world. So then of course, he comforts her too. Not like the for him to get married to her kind. No, no, no. He treats her as his own sister. Okay? Yeah, and they agree. So they spend time together. He spent time with like the two girls and the hen. but he did a sample thing to the lab as he turns his head to look at Dr. Crowler. Yes, there is. As he looks underneath, or he looks at the, or when they got to a lab, he looks under a microscope. No way. As he's doing the same thing what the nurse does. That's weird. He didn't actually die. He just. This is one way to teleport to a different dimension. As she was there, but she says, what do you mean? Is it like a leftover battery acid or something like that? Not exactly. You know how the first time we got teleported to that universe? There's where we had to battle against dual ghouls and basically against this so-called Ebel. Yeah. Well, that portal sapped into my brother's DNA, and that's what happened. And so, yeah. The two wives of his, her and the other girl, these two, were man, how do you could tell it's just watch. I need a little pebble. As he placed it down, as it teleported away. Are you suggesting that your brother got teleported to a different universe? Yes. He might still be alive. Because I know the substance like the back of my own hand. It's basically that's how it is. As a nurse is like, so your brother's soul, or got teleported, or his body got teleported away. No way. Yes. Into it. It's been remolded. As you see a rock standing, or like a boulder standing right in front of one of the other students. But it's bigger. Let's see. As he placed a pen, I didn't just tell me if there's anything different. As he placed a pencil on down, as you see one area had boulders, the other, as they look around, they see a giant-sized pencil comes right down like a whole, like 3 inches away him, or 3 feet away from them. And they're like, I see what you mean. If this stuff have really teleported anything that makes things giant, what would happen? Let's see. As he tested on his finger, as they see a giant-sized finger in the ground, or on the sky. He's swirling it. As he pulls it out, it doesn't affect me. Like, the goo substance doesn't go onto my finger. As he, I see. So, yeah. So then but now, to the sneak peek at the new world, or where he teleported to, was, or it actually affected his brother. They did not realize it. His brother, his entire deck and like dual disc were like fused into his body. So then he didn't like became a dual monster. He became he actually went into the alternate timeline, and he became this big buff guy that isn't wearing like dark blue, but I turned it to light blue. And yeah, he was, this is what he looked like. This is one side of his face. And yeah. So, yeah. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment and all that stuff. Because the cards that I made from the What If is Crazy Town Tree Beast. It's Earth level 4 fairy effect monster, where this character can't be normal summon or set, must be special summoned by shuffling all other cards from your hand into the deck. If this card is special summoned this way, you can activate any cards effects from your deck to the graveyard. Then if this card gains 1000 attack and defense for each activation of a card or effect on your turn. But for the rest of the duel, instead of drawing cards from your deck, you can select cards from your deck or graveyard, activate their effects without a cost to use it. Even if this card leaves the field. If this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life points, your opponent must mill 2 cards from top of the decks to the graveyard. This card attack again. If it does, then this card gains 700 attack and defense hands. You can only use this effect for once per turn, and you take no damage from battles involving this card. So yeah, and then this is his other card that he plays a lot in this, or in the duels. So Fossil Hero is a Earth level 4 rock effect monster. If your opponent summons a monster, you can send this card from your deck to the graveyard. Negate that summoning and then shovel it into the deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shovel this card into the deck. Activate one spell/trap card from your deck to the graveyard without a cost to use it. If it does, then inflict 3,000 damage to your opponent's life points. You take no damage from battles involving this card. So yeah, you can summon like this one by shuffling all cards, and yeah. So then the Jar of the twins, yeah, is it if your opponent activates yada yada. Well, this card is in your graveyard. Here, let me boost this up. If your opponent activates a card effect or declares its attack while this card is in your deck, you can send this card to the graveyard. Negate that attack or effect. If you do, special summon 2 monsters from anywhere except this card to your field in attack mode. But their attack points become double the attack points. Once per turn during your or opponent's draw phase, return this card into the deck from the graveyard or behind some. Mill 4 cards from the top of your opponent's deck to the graveyard, and their effects are negated until the end of your third turn. So yeah, and yeah. So the happy one, no, this guy plays a lot of like crazy town one, and their effects gets triggered when the opponent activates a card effect. You can, or declare an attack on you, you can use all those cards in the graveyard. So, yeah. And I also turned both of them into Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because, yeah. So, he does duel. Oh, like, some duels he's just like, okay. Because he's more of like a defender. Like, he uses the, like, Mirror Force and all those other cards to, like, stop your opponent completely. And he also has the spell card that the final countdown one. This one. So he does a lot of the same thing But his cards basically use like different types of negations and the big shields and all that stuff. But he calls them raging ones. Raging shield or shield of rage, and yeah. So if you guys want me to do the combine of them, their archetype, because they're both brothers in arms. So yeah. So please leave a like, share, subscribe. Peace.